Welcome, Tinkerers, to another broadcast from the edges of the known cloud. Or at least, what we think is the known cloud. You know the deal. Last week we just discovered a new region that we had no idea existed. It featured instances with two-dimensional CPU clocks. Talk about scaling up. Dear Tinkerers, someone that goes by Mr. Tanchua let me know of some off-putting behavior in the West EU2 region. The servers there are said to do more than just host. They are said to hunger. Mr. Tanchua said, end quote, "A Lambda function was deployed. It vanished. No logs, no traces. Only silence. And then laughter. Distant, metallic laughter, like something chewing through DNS record." End quote. But it wasn't just Tanchua. Other Tinkerers reported anomalies. Noah attempted to SSH into an EC2 instance in the same region, only to find herself staring at a terminal that asked, "What is your greatest fear?" in Comic Sans. She was confused at this, so she tried to control C out of the faulty program, but ended up being sucked into a nearby haunted radio. When the Cloud Tinkerer's special moderator unit investigated her home, they found nothing. And I mean literally nothing. Her home had been reduced into a seeping void, except for a voice.
A radio voice, endlessly murmuring.
You children will never learn.
Is possible.
Who knows what corner of the cloud poor Noah ended up in? He is being
Tormented
for all.
eternity.
Just like what it's gonna torment you to miss out on this segue to our sponsor.
Today's episode is brought to you by 404 Coffee, the air in your cup that tastes like success. 404 Coffee, the place where you can get lost in thought. We have your favorite picks in store, like the Stacked Trace Latte, Kernel Panic Cold Brew, Segmentation Frappe, Null Pointer Espresso, Blue Screen of Mocha, Git Merge Conflict, Deadlock Decaf, and Syntax Sugar. If you order the Core Dump Cold Foam, you get a free existential crisis with every sip.
And now, back to the show.
And now, back to the show. And now, back to the show.
Fun fact, an envelope arrived at the studio today. The paper was thick, the kind that leaves paper cuts that never quite heal. Across its surface, in shaky block letters, a single word: GGNN. Beneath it, the imprint of something not quite paw, not quite hand. The contents, when examined, told this story. Deep within an abandoned documentation archive, perhaps Azure, perhaps something older, a YAML file was found. Not remarkable at first glance, but then the indentation revealed itself. Not spaces, tabs. A single misaligned block, glaring up from the screen like a bad omen. Attempts to correct it failed. Spaces converted back to tabs upon save. The file refused to be fixed. Then new lines appeared, comments in a familiar voice but never typed. Warnings, threats, old secrets, dragged up from deleted repositories. Listeners, The last line in the envelope was smeared, as though written in haste or fear. The tabs are not a mistake. The envelope contained nothing else. No signature, no return address. Just the story, the warning, and the faint scent of overworked RAM. We recommend our listeners avoid YAML entirely for the next 24 hours. We have reports that the Guild Squirrel claims to have found a hidden API endpoint that returns status code 418, I'm a teapot. Except, when he called it, his kettle at home started boiling by itself, and the steam spelled out his Wi-Fi password. Although that's actually kinda dope, I would like to remind all listeners to not mess with restricted, hidden endpoints in the cloud. Because the cloud isn't just watching us, it's learning. Soon, it won't need us to tinker anymore. And that's all the time we have today, Tinkerers. This has been your host, Bonkers, signing off from the void between the regions. Stay cloudy. Don't look at the homeless man in a Karen outfit who shoves coins into your throat. And remember, never look directly at the logs.
Most everyone's mad here. You may have noticed that I'm not all there myself.